Just for Fuzzy. Woo! How are you doing? Right, so first of all, hello everybody. We are back with One Good Scare, another live show, all about your horror goodness. I'm seeing Fuzzy's comment in the chat straight away.
You just can't have it. Man, there's big news. Big
news, Fuzzy. Big
news.
You
got to put it in there. There's no Scream news this week, though.
We're still going to talk about it, but aren't you? I'm sure we're going to somehow... We definitely are going to talk about Scream. Yeah. We've got Terry. Nice to see you. Terry sent us the link, the trailer link for M3GAN 2, because he knows I'm a big fan of the fans. Yeah. He sent you it as well, yeah.
He did, yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute, Terry, in a bit. James is going to love it. I'm just going to tell you now. We've not spoken about it.
I watched it 10 minutes ago.
We have not spoken about it, and I tell you now, we're going to have massively different opinions on this trailer, I would imagine. Good evening, you two, and the chat when they turn up. This is it, Terry. This is it, mate. You and Fuzzy. That is the chat. What more do we need? James, I'm going to break it to you. Nobody gives it.
I do, Fuzzy.
Wow.
I care. And that's all that really matters, because it's our show. That's my
don't upset Fuzzy. Don't upset Fuzzy. He's 50% of our viewership.
Yeah,
Anyway, we've got loads to do. We've had a bit of a change around tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been crackers mental at work. So Mr. Keegan has pulled together most of the slides.
So you might notice a slight improvement in the quality of the slide work,
Wow. Wow. Let's see as we'll go through. And because you've said that, I am going to pick on and criticize any pixelated image, any issue I see with these.
There is one low res one, but I couldn't get a high res of it, so
I don't want excuses. I want
tough titties. What can I do?
Right, let's crack on. We have got Terry wants a fight. Me and James don't fight.
Never. We're lovers, not fighters.
Sorry. Sick a little bit in my mouth. John.
Oh, you literally don't know. I have to explain everything now. You don't know anything that's on the slides.
I'm 47. You have to explain most things to us. I've forgotten most of it. That's John Carpenter, isn't it? That's John Carpenter.
I thought we would just start with a little bit of nice news. John Carpenter has finally got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm surprised he has not had one up to this point. It's very nice to see. He seems to be loving it.
It's not.
What?
It's bollocks.
What do you mean?
It's bollocks.
What do you mean it's bollocks?
It's bollocks. It does my tits in. No, so right. I'm starting.
I thought you were saying this was an April Fool's joke or something like that.
No. I am starting off strong.
Okay.
Because you know, and you've told us, I like to say it often, I'm a miserable old man, but I'm going to start off strong. This means fuck all to me these days. The Hollywood star of frame. And I tell you why. Since I've discovered that they pay for it themselves. This isn't like they've been given an award or someone's voted for them to have a Hollywood star or anything like that. Okay. The actual celebrity pays for it and decides, I think I'll have myself a star or whatever. So they pay for it, and that I could do it.
I assume it's they pay to have it put there.
Oh, you see, Fuzzy's there. Fuzzy's with us. You have to pay to get one.
Okay, but I assume there's he's been granted the ability to buy one now, and there's not anyone can buy one.
I think we should buy one. Let's do a whip around.
We have
me, you, Fuzzy, and Dead Man.
We'll start a membership. Donate 5,000 on our Patreon, and we can get a. Well, probably
anyone can request one. Not even celebrity. See, me and Fuzzy are just miserable old buggers. We know how it works. The world works.
Fuzzy, be our man in the chair right now. Can you just look up how much one of these things costs? I would be fascinated to know.
I would imagine it depends what part of the street you're on. We could probably afford one in the gutter or something like that.
Back alley. Yeah, exactly.
But no, it's lovely he's got one. But I have to say, like I say, for me, it lost its charm when I did realise or read that they decide they want to buy one and they buy one. I thought it was something great.
Means nothing. I thought it was an achievement.
When you get in music, when you get put into the Hall of Fame or whatever, the Rock Hall of Fame. I thought it was that kind of a thing, but it ain't. Terry's just saying, did you see Crypto beating up Superman? We did. Terry. I'm on a show on Sunday night with Efren where he's wanting to talk about the trailer, so we'll talk more about that there. But yeah, And you know what, James? I know it's horror, so I'm sorry to divert a little bit.
Oh, right, divulge ahead.
Already, all the miserable buggers are saying, "Oh, it's so childish and blah blah blah." Any dog owner knows the dog jumping over Superman when he's in pain is perfect. and possibly for me, because I am soft as shit, possibly the most perfect representation of what Superman is when he's being pulled into the fortress and the robots pick him up and he's thanking the inanimate automatons. Do you know what I mean? That's Superman. He's all about fairness and thanks and
decency,
integrity and decency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I absolutely.
I liked it. Do you know what? When I was watching it, I had completely forgotten that we'd gotten a trailer for the movie already. But I was like, oh, this is a nice extended scene, and I'm like, you got a bit of a vibe to it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
My understanding is this was supposed to be the sneak peek or whatever that's going to be
just leaked.
Shown in front of a film coming out soon or something. I can't remember.
That's not CinemaCon, isn't it? That's on at the
something
moment.
Like that, yeah. And then it leaked the day before, so they decided, screw it, let's just put it out. Same as the Emmys, you can nominate anything in any category. Nomination.
You can nominate.
You can nominate. What? Did I say nominate?
It's a nominate.
It's a Geordie word, nominate.
Nominate.
You're Irish. You kind of talk about words and language.
I know.
We got Bat Dan. Nice to see you, Bat Dan. Hope you're well. Terry, I loved Crypto Jump on Soups. I just loved it. Yeah. It does belittle the ones back in the 40s, the stars I'm talking about. Yeah, it does. You're right. Because I think they were awarded back then, weren't they? I was crying with the crypto bit, and I don't have a dog. Yeah, it was just lush. Anyway, back to horror. Anything else you want to say about this fraud? I mean, this lovely thing.
You've really put a downer on. This was supposed to be my happy moments to start, because we often start with like someone fucking died or something, or like some movies cancelled. And I thought, let's have a bit of happy news. And you pissed on it.
It's good. Man buys fame. Lovely. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Now, is this right? Because you put this on, and I've not seen this image anywhere.
This dropped 2 hours ago. So this is from IGN. This is like I confirmed that it is. Although it's a leaked thing, there's official coverage of this, so that we should be okay to show it. So this is a screenshot from the Predator Badlands, which is showing at CinemaCon at the moment. Like, so there's, I think, a trailer. So there's a trailer description. Didn't get a chance to read that. Yeah. Just a first look of it. Like, it's going. I'd assumed Badlands was going to be, I think I'd said Western, and you said like a Mad Max thing. Yeah, it looks like you're kind of right. That's the vibe I'm getting. He looks like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, the main character.
If you didn't have the Predator Badlands blurb on that, and you'd sent us this and said,
I think it was Dune.
Well, no, if you'd said it was for the next series of Ahsoka or something like that, I would have just assumed that was a Sith or a Jedi or something. It's an interesting look for a Predator. I've not seen that before.
Oh, I still think that's the Predator. I think that's the protagonist.
Oh, you think that's... Oh, right.
Yeah, that's my guess. I don't think that's the Predator. No, release date as well, November 7th. So that's confirmed. So yeah, I'm excited for this one, considering how great Prey was. It's the same director, Dan Trachtenberg.
I'm sure Fuzzy sent me something a little while ago, and I can't remember whether it was the live action show or if it was going to be the trilogy of animated shows we were getting. And one of them was definitely a pirate version of Predator.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
I love that. Pirate or samurai, that'd be great.
Someone sent us something about it, because it was talking about how they discovered the flintlock gun and all the rest of it.
Right, okay. Because I know that they said last year, we covered it at the time, that there was 2 Predator movies this year. So it's supposed to be an animated one as well.
I think there was the 2, but I think one of them was an animated one, and it's an anthology series.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the one that's got the pirate one and things in.
Yeah.
I can't remember if someone's told us that, if Fuzzy told us that, or if I've read that somewhere. I'm excited for this. I loved Prey. I rewatched Prey a couple of weeks ago, still stands up. I think it's a great film.
The best Predator, like, that's a 10 out of 10 movie, I think. Like, that's stellar. Like, one of the best movies of that year, I think, if not the best.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. And interestingly, I don't know why, but back over on my other channel, our live show review of Predator Prey is my most watched
live show. Yeah, like 700-800 views or something like that.
Yeah. Weird. Fuzzy saying guilty. Yeah, it was Fuzzy. Remind us, Fuzzy, was it the animated show, which is going to be an anthology? So three films, I think, or 3 kind of stories in the film. I think that's what I remember. Yeah, excited for this. Interested in this. So do you think we'll get a trailer soon then? Do you think we'll...
They've seen a trailer, so I'd imagine probably in the next, November, you'd be looking at marketing starting like May, I would think. So the next month or two. Trying to think is it Disney do Predator, don't they? So whatever, like
Is it Hulu? So I don't know if is that
Hulu. Well, it's Fox, so it's maybe Fantastic Four. You get a trailer at the front of that, something like that. They'll tie it into something, or Aliens a show this year. Yeah, I don't know. We got a trailer soon anyway, but I'm excited.
I don't think we've got a slide on it either. But have you seen the poster for Aliens with the guy walking down the street and the alien sat on top of the light post?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Well, that sounds cool.
So it's like a street scene and the guy's walking along, and on top of the light post there's an alien stood on top of that. Yeah, and I could say something along the lines of we thought we were safe when they were in space or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks cool. Cannot wait for this. Big fan of this series. The Conjuring.
So the kind of, it was announced that this was the last Conjuring movie. So this is the final one we're going to get, and like you assume we're going to get like spin-off, like they're going to do a Nun 3, and they're going to do like whatever other spin-off stuff that they want to do. But the CCO of New Line, I think he was being interviewed the other day, and he said something to the effect of, "This is the end of phase 1 of the Conjuring universe." And I'm like, oh, okay. So like, I'm fascinated what that means. Like, my assumption is that this is the Warrens saga, and that they'll continue to make kind of horror movies centered around these kind of like, attempt at iconic characters or monsters, and that they just won't involve the Warrens anymore. That's my guess, anyway.
I get completely, you know what I'm like, I say this every time we talk about this bloody franchise, I get so confused with them all melding into
Insidious, The Conjuring. Yeah.
The Conjuring, is the Conjuring universe the Nun and Annabelle?
Yes.
Okay.
Nun, Annabelle, the La Lorena one, yeah.
Okay. Fuzzy's just saying there's a big convention in August, big Disney convention. That's when we get more Doomsday reveals too, I think. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't think we've scratched the surface of the Doomsday reveals yet. I think there's going to be just tons more coming out.
Quick side note, Channing Tatum said something earlier today that like he might not actually even be Gambit in it. He was kind of teasing he might not be.
I've said that. I think all of these people have been announced, and we're being told that what was the announcement today? That it's all of these different teams, so Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, versus Doom. Yeah. Because lots of people are saying, is this going to be an X-Men versus Avengers movie? It's not. It's all those characters versus Doom.
Team up.
I think these are going to be variations of characters and people we've seen, not necessarily. So he probably will be playing a version of Gambit or a kind of Gambit, but not the Gambit we've seen previously.
I think all the X-Men characters come from that universe at the end of the Marvels. Yeah, and that's like, and so they're the same actors playing them, but they'll look different, or they'll have different costumes, and you don't have to abide by any history from those movies. Yeah.
Fuzzy's absolutely right. It's going to be Battle World, so it's going to be loads of different versions of the multiverse, and they're all having to collide to fight for survival, basically. Yeah. Anyway, Conjuring.
Phase 1.
I like this universe, so I'm not.
So do I.
Yeah. Wow. And I think the beauty for me with The Conjuring is they are standalone movies, so I haven't got to worry too much about interconnectivity and all that kind of stuff, So yeah.
Even when they're bad, they're still fun, though. The worst ones are still enjoyable. So
yeah. Black Mask, bit of Ethan.
Black Phone.
Black Phone, sorry.
Yeah, we just got kind of a couple of little tips about what the story is in this one. So they said that the approach to this is going to be like a Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's just new, like the killer's back from the dead. They might not necessarily explain why or how, and that the phone this time is going to be a payphone.
Okay. Interesting.
That's all we've heard so far. I believe this is like deep into filming and everything. So this shouldn't be too far.
Do you know who's wrote it?
I would assume Scott Derrickson wrote it, I think.
So, because the original writer is Stephen King's son, of the short story. Of the short story.
And there's no sequel to that, so this is yeah.
I just wonder if he's involved in all. Do you know what I mean?
Scott Derrickson is directing. He wrote the screenplay for the first one, so I would guess that he's writing and directing. But maybe he went to him for some advice, or maybe he is actually like a producer or a co-writer on it. But
Let me know in the chat if you've watched this Black Phone. This I think was a really good little story.
I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. And just there's such a great villain performance in it. I think it's just like gives
I love him. I love Ethan. So I've started getting hooked into. Do you watch Stephen Colbert?
I love Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. So I watch a lot of his political stuff just because it gets my blood pressure up.
The monologues, they're great.
Yeah. But I've also getting into him doing the Colbert questionnaire. Where he does the 15 questions with his guests. Have you seen any of those?
Yes, I've seen a couple of them. Yeah.
And I watched the one where he did it with Ethan the other day. It's just phenomenal. He comes across as a great guy. So bet he wouldn't buy a Hollywood star.
I put money he has a Hollywood star. Scooby-Doo, here are you. Netflix is moving forward with their Scooby-Doo. So we heard that one was in development. It's official. They're moving forward. It's going to be 8-episode series, and we have a synopsis for it, which is very interesting. If I can get it up here, I've lost it. It's somewhere here. This is very unprofessional of me. Yes. Okay. During their final, I laugh at Scooby-Doo. Man, I love this series, and I'm really excited for it. So, during their final summer at camp, old friends Shaggy and Daphne get embroiled in a haunting mystery surrounding a lonely, lost Great Dane puppy that may have been witness to a supernatural murder. Together with the pragmatic and scientific townie Velma and the strange but ever so handsome new kid Freddy, they set out to solve the case that is pulling each of them into a creepy nightmare that threatens to expose all of their secrets. So yeah, like origin story. Scooby's a puppy. And the thing that I'm happy about is like it's about a murder. Like it's going to be more of a more adult kind of, it's not going to be just like a spooky fucking tax evader,
Is it a film or is it a TV series?
8-episode TV show. So I would think Wednesday is going to be the kind of the thing that the vibe that they're going for with this Wednesday in terms of like adapting a thing. And I would say probably Riverdale will be in the vibe of it as well. So like this will end up probably being, I'm not really into those type of shows. I enjoyed Wednesday. I don't like Riverdale. I might not even like this at all, but I'm just like, I'm excited to see it.
You're going to make me talk about every episode.
Oh, we're doing a 1 hour spoiler discussion on every episode of this one. We'll see. Like we might get casting that I don't like, or like, the trailer. I'd be like, oh, looks shit. But I'm very curious if Scooby talks in it. Is it going to be a CG, or is it just going to be a puppy? Because like the Scooby witnesses the murder. So it's like, okay, how do they know that? I'm fascinated by this.
Less so. Okay, interesting. Let's see. We'll see what it's like when it comes out.
Yeah.
What's this?
So, back when the Lights Out movie came out, so it's by David Sandberg, who went on to do Shazam. He did the short film, then he did the feature film of Lights Out, then he did the Shazam movies, and then now he's doing the Until Dawn movie. So he's been, I think because he's been doing some press for Until Dawn, but he was talking about Lights Out 2, about how like a sequel was announced at the time, like literally because it did really well, like right when, and we've heard nothing for the last like 10 years, I think it's been. So he's basically said like it's pretty much, we're past the point now where we're going to go back and do it. So it's been unofficially cancelled, I suppose, which is a shame because I love that first Lights Out movie. But the short's amazing.
I love the short.
Great.
I love the short, but I don't think I've seen the full.
Have you not?
No.
It is. I think one of the rare examples of a concept for a short film working in a feature length film. I think the story was really good and there were some really good scares in it. You really enjoyed it, so like it's kind of a shame. I think it could have been a good franchise,
Okay, I might try and catch the other one. Terry's saying James needs more Scooby snacks. I've seen James without his clothes off. He doesn't need more Scooby snacks.
Yeah, he's fried chicken in my underwear at the end of the bed, watching Jumanji.
Jesus God. This is interesting. So this is for the love of horror. The convention that me and James go to every year. We always have a great time. James literally popped his little cork the other day when we got news that Matthew Lillard is going to be. James, the people might not know who Matthew Lillard is. So is there any franchises or anything he's involved with?
If you just don't click out the video yet, but go back to or maybe open another screen and look at the thumbnail for this video because it's Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. So he's Shaggy in the live action movies. Scream, obviously, Stu Macher. A lot of hype around his return to that. He's also in the Five Nights at Freddy's movies now as well. So I'm to meet him, like that's a dream one. I am stoked. I'm gonna have to get two because I have to get a Scream thing and then a Scooby-Doo thing. Because I have like a dream of like a Scooby-Doo poster with like an actor representing each character and like a different colored marker, like pink or purple for Daphne and orange for Velma, and like the Jinkies, Jeepers, Zoinks. So yeah, stoked to meet him. Ted Raimi's a good one. That will depend on how many other people I have to get at this thing. But like he's on the short list anyway. Skeet Ulrich is an essential, like just to excited. And they're holding back on releasing the photo ops, buying the photo ops and buying the autographs. And I would guess, my guess is that they're going to do a full Scream reunion. I think we're going to get Nev Campbell. I think we're going to get
you think
possibly Jamie Kennedy, and then you'd have, what was the last one from Charmed? She was supposed to be a couple of years ago at it, and then she cancelled. It's escaping me now. That's annoying. Fuzzy will probably know, but I think they're going to do a full reunion. So like the photo ops will be like for the whole cast and stuff. So it's going to be so expensive.
Jesus, you're going to need a mortgage.
Yeah,
well, you have a house, so you're going to need.
That's it.
You're going to need to.
You're going to have to go bankrupt. Yeah. So excited. Like this is going to be so time consuming and expensive. But Rose Byrne, not Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne, sorry, yeah. Who am I thinking of?
Are you going to go for a diamond pass again
then? They're sold out. So I might if one comes up on thing, I might try and get one. I'll squeeze them over the couple of days. Like I'll go Sunday, just jump into. I'll do Matthew first thing the first day and Skeet first thing the second day or something like that. Other people announced Bonnie Aarons, who plays the nun. I've always thought it'd be really cool to get like a costume photo op of that character because I think that is probably the scariest character design like in any horror movie in a long time. But she's doing possibly a nun costume, but not the makeup. So I'm just a bit like, oh, okay. And then Nick King, who is the from Sinister. So he's the boogeyman, not the boogeyman, something like the boogeyman anyway in that. And then they just announced today James and Chelsea from Dead Meat. So I think that'd be an interesting one as well. Curious, like what in terms of charging for autographs, how much they'll.
Who's the kid, Mike? I recognise the little face on him, but who's the Mike?
Pet Cemetery, and he is in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. He's the son in that as well, I believe. Okay. So yeah, really cool lineup so far.
Plays Velma.
Oh, that's a great idea. Great. No, I think I might do because we were talking a couple of years ago about going as Scooby-Doo villains. So maybe I'll do that, or I'll do Fred.
I'm not dressing up. I'm done with dressing up. It's too hot. I'm too old for that shit. Yeah.
Just a clown costume. No.
It's all right for you. When we've done cosplay before, you've literally worn a shirt. You know what I mean? I had full on.
That's
masks and everything.
That's what Kevin put me in the logo. Like, what can what can you do? Whatever. I look cool, and you're in a big onesie. I asked you what you wanted to wear in it, and you said a Chucky onesie, and I was like,
with a massive Chucky head. I look like Mick Hucknell walking around the bloody place.
You could have been a sexy hash or something if you wanted.
How much can I do sexy? How much do you think Matthew Lillard's going to be charging them?
I would think £90.
That's cheap per autograph. I think that's cheap.
I don't see him. Nobody's ever really more than 80 at this one. I'd be surprised if 100. I think max. I don't think you're going to end to 150. I'd be shocked if it's 150. I'll have to just buy one, and I'll probably just get this.
Yeah, we'll go then. Pop quiz. You can only get one. Or we're going Scream, or we're going Scooby-Doo.
I would be absolutely gutted if I started the Scooby-Doo thing and then like Frank Welker died, and I can never get Fred. Whereas I have a Scream poster already with a couple people on it, so like, probably Scream just because I have Skeet Ulrich and stuff, and I'll just never do the Scooby-Doo thing. But while I'm there,
that's animal abuse. You just kicked poor Scooby. Fuzzy saying that's not a bad price.
No, but you know what? Like he's not wrong. like Matthew Lillard's not an A-list actor.
Not a
Like
good
A-list
actor,
actors trying. He's a great actor, but he's not like people are excited because of his role in Scream. But he's not. Like fucking Ghostface was only 40 quid. I think David Arquette was 60. I don't see him being more than 90. I'd be shocked.
I bet his line's busy. That'll
be like an all-day wait, I would think. Or they'll do some kind of schedule.
I shall assume my usual position, like a proper old fart, at one of the plastic chairs and just watch whatever they put in front of us.
But you know what? Like
I'll not move from that position all day and just watch whatever shit they put in front of us.
Going to be fucking war to get to that panel as well. I think, to sit for that panel. I imagine that'll be like the last panel on the Sunday, probably. So we'll see. Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm looking for it. Excited. Yeah. We need to get with stuff sorted for it, don't we? For the
I bought the tickets. Imagine the opening screening is Scream.
Well, that's what I said. I think I messaged the guys from Flow of Horror and said just make a Scream screening happen on the Friday night
with any of them. Like you can get like more than one if possible, but like just any of them would be great.
That's what we'll go for. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Oh, look at that image.
That is blurry.
God,
that is
who
very
did
blurry.
These slides? Dog shit.
Okay, so there's two.
Let one know in the chat if these slides are terrible, worse than usual.
So we got a teaser poster for the I Know What You Did Last Summer thing. Very simplistic, but I think it gives you the vibes. We also got a synopsis, and I'm gonna pull it up now. I forgot that I was supposed to pull this up. Peter, just distract the audience for a second, would you?
Da, 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 da. Look at that! Look at the movement! Look at the movement! That's good.
I'll just swing side to side.
Da, da, da. I can't believe you didn't have this ready. You only had all the jobs and you've failed. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, now tell me if this story sounds familiar. Okay, when 5 friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. It's just the first movie again, isn't it? Like, pretty much.
Was that it? Was that it?
That's
I'm not going to lie. It wasn't worth the anticipation of the kind of build up for it.
I believe there was a second part that said something about like they realized this has happened before, so you're just having the exact same thing happen again.
So it's not a remake, is it?
It's not a remake.
It's a continuation.
Yeah, because Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. and all of them are in it as well. So just very interesting that they've gone for literally it's people hit someone with a car and kill them, and will it even be that killer coming back again? Like it's curious.
Interesting. We'll see. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
God, that's another shocking image, James.
That one was not supposed to be low res. None of them were supposed to be low res, but that one I didn't realize was low res. Okay,
not gonna lie. Loving this. Loving it.
Yeah. Maybe if you pulled your finger out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dexter original. I am hyper for this. I think this is going to be.
We're here for season 2, so you're started now. You've enjoyed the first one, didn't you?
I loved the first one, and it I often think with any TV series, and tell us if I'm talking shite in the chat, but I often think that the first season's normally okay, but it takes a while to get itself to find its feet for the actors to kind of fall. And by the end of the first season of Original Sin, I was 100% there. It was just like watching Dexter. I didn't distinguish between them anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it ends clearly that they could continue. It could have ended as just the end of the prequel, as it were, but they ended it in such a way that you could continue on if you wanted to. So I'm really, really pleased they are going to push on with it.
It's all the positive thing about it as well is that like the shows used to be a season a year. Right. And now it's I don't know really why, but I know with some shows they're so big, so like Game of Thrones and Last of Us and stuff are such big productions that they take 2 years. But shows just now seem to take it's every second year you get a season. So I think you can you can go do a back and forth, take turns where you have the new show and then the prequel like for a couple of years. So we have a Dexter thing every year. I think that's
a good point. Yeah. It's interesting that because it's the same with cartoons. I don't remember as a kid maybe I wouldn't have even clocked, I guess, but like seasons between turtle cartoons and things like that, it just felt like it was on every day forever.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if we look at Invincible, it's like two years between seasons. It's like really
mad. For
8 episodes or something.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, looking forward to this. Can't wait to see that one. I'm interested in this as well.
There's not really much it's not. It might not necessarily be good news for Pete. So like, this Happy Death Day 3, I'm a huge fan of the Happy Death Day movies. I think they're incredible. The first two were. The first one was such a good surprise. Like I wasn't really expecting much from it, and I loved it. And the second one takes it in such a weird sci-fi kind of direction. So basically, the director of this, whose name is escaping, Christopher Landon. So he was supposed to do Scream 7. And then he dropped out because there's the whole hullabaloo with the cast and everything. Yeah. But he's got a new movie, which we'll talk about in a few minutes because there's a trailer for it. But someone asked him, I think, about Happy Death Day 3, and he said that it was at one point going to be a Peacock like 3-episode event series, which is bizarre. Yeah, bizarre choice. This is still like in the pipeline to happen. The lead actress was talking not too long ago about it, like being close enough to getting going. I don't understand what's taking so long with it. Like, just do it. I
mean, I've loved both of these films. Terry's asking, is that a Chucky clone on the reflection of the knife? If you've not seen Happy Death Day, Terry, Fuzzy, I'd recommend you just check it out. The basic premise, and correct if I'm wrong, James, is a guy in like a funny, kind of pudgy faced mask.
Baby doll face, like baby face.
Baby doll kind of face thing. Basically keeps killing this girl, and every time she dies, she wakes up. The next day? I can't remember.
It's Groundhog Day meets Scream, basically. Like, but like a bit more comedy thrown in there. Yeah. It's so good. It's just like that first one is brilliant. Like proper.
We should do that actually for one good occasion. We should do Happy Death Day for.
So we could with see when the release date for Drop is, and maybe we'll do it as it's his new movie. So let's do this one because I love him, and there's a lot to talk about in it. Like it's just
very cool.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You'll be happy to hear this news, Peter. So I was completely unaware that Lionsgate was working on a new Leprechaun movie. And you'll be happy to know the director has dropped out.
Good.
I just should have had this ready to go. I just didn't. 2025. Where is this? So unprofessional. I mean, really.
It is.
Yeah, you should just. So okay, it was 2 years ago. So this is the reason we didn't cover it. It was just I just didn't know there was. But the director was going to be Philip Vargas, who did a movie called Milk Teeth, which I'm unfamiliar with. Neither have I. Milk Teeth, The Guide. Anyway, he was signed on to do a new Leprechaun movie, and he's dropped out.
Was Warwick Davis going to be in it?
No.
Good.
I think it was a full reboot. Do you think there's someone that could do it better?
I'm not sure politically we're allowed to answer that question anymore, else we'll get what do you call him? Peter Dinklage shouting at me. Yeah.
Would Peter Dinklage make a good Leprechaun?
Sure you would shut the film down. You wouldn't have anything to do with it. Yeah.
The CGI.
Not interested in this in the slightest. Shite. Absolutely.
It might not even happen now. Good. Yeah. So this was kind of, we heard. I think it was one of the main topics of an episode in the last couple of months, that Linda Cardellini was in talks for the Friday 13th Camp Crystal Lake show. She's been confirmed, so she's officially leading it now. Great. Really good casting and fantastic actress, Velma in Scooby-Doo. So yeah, like I am just fascinated what the show's going to be, because it sounds like it's going to be Bates Motel, but with Friday the 13th. Yeah. I'm just happy to see another Friday the 13th thing. That happened so long.
Looking forward to seeing a trailer. We've talked about this one a lot, haven't we? So looking forward to seeing it actually start to come together.
Yeah.
Oof, James, man.
This is the one I knew was going to be low res. And there it is. So Lee Cronin's The Mummy film has begun production. You're loving this.
I'm loving it.
You're such a bitch. Why can't we all just be happy and be nice to each other, man?
Because the thing is, Mr. Keegan, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you just let it pass and not say anything?
I wouldn't say anything, but I'd silently.
Bullshit. You'd be straight there.
I'd have a serious word with you after about game, Peter, because we're professionals here, you know. So yeah, Lee Cronin, who did Evil Dead Rise, working on the new Mummy film for Universal. It's begun production. Jack Rayner is starring in it, another Irish alum. If you're unfamiliar, he was the Irish boyfriend, the kind of Nancy boyfriend in the fourth Transformers movie. The guy that carried it.
I'm not sure you're allowed to say that word.
Are you not?
I don't think so. I don't
Oh,
think-
apologies.
I don't think so.
I hope I don't get cancelled.
Unless that's an Irish take on something that happened. But
Yeah, it's an Irishism. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's got me worried now. It's a card. He carries around a card in it that like means he can sleep with the underage girl. Because they mesh before he.
yeah, come on, stop talking about it.
It's very strange. So yeah, Jack Rayner is starring in it as well.
I'm
So,
really
yeah,
excited
no,
for this. I'm excited to see something interesting. Like, I mean, we've talked about it a few weeks ago. I think I went back and watched the Tom Cruise Mummy. It's not the best, but I don't think it deserved the slagging off it got. It was all right.
I think it's decent. It's just a weird tone to take for that film, like, and to make a Universal Monsters movie like a Tom Cruise vehicle is sort of strange. But I think it works as like a Mission Impossible X-esque action movie.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And people keep saying it would be nice to have Brendan Fraser back and all the rest of it. I don't think it would. I think he's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Past his prime, I mean.
Yeah. We've got Jeff in the chat. Nice to see you, Jeff. Hope you're well. Fiona says hi. Can we give her a happy birthday, please? Happy birthday to you. Oh, sorry. I was singing, Jeff, but James just gave you a happy birthday.
Fiona's birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday
don't do
to
that.
you.
Don't do that
It's
head
a
thing.
party.
That's
A
yeah.
party tonight.
Did you read the comic yet? Excuse me. No, I haven't, Fuzzy. Not yet. It's on my list. I'm on holiday from next Friday, so that's on my list of books to take to fucking Benidorm. What the hell? I'm going to Benidorm.
Benidorm.
Yeah, but it's on my list of books to take and read when we're there. Fuzzy saying happy birthday, Fiona. Cards in the post. Very kind of you, Fuzzy. Moving on. Jigsaw.
So can you distract the audience for a second? I'll get the thing up. I know. I'm terrible. I'm awful. I'm so bad. We should just.
So last week we.
Oh, it was cancelled. It was cancelled.
Nah, last week it was
Last week,
cancelled.
it's not cancelled anymore. The Billy the Puppet X account teased not yet or something like that. So
Fake news. I'm pretty sure I said 2 weeks ago I doubt very much that this is cancelled. And sure enough, it's not cancelled. I think that was just some.
No, I think the version that they were working on, I'm sure everything's been scrapped and they're just starting fresh.
Yeah, but the franchise isn't cancelled. That's what was kind of reported. That's
the Saw is dead or
was
whatever.
done.
Yeah. No, that's bullshit. So yeah, a retraction for last episode's
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah, we were spread it fit. We do apologise. But on the positive side, what a lovely crisp slide. I like that.
Thank you.
It's nice to have one.
Okay,
Nice to have one.
Resolution, baby. On to the video games. Your favorite section, isn't it?
Oh God.
Terrifier, the arcade game.
No, that is clever. I like that.
The arcade game, yeah, it's funny. Which is the kind of 2D, kind of retro, side-scrolling, kind of hack and slash beat 'em up game. The collector's edition is up for pre-order now. So there comes with a few things: a little poster, a physical copy of the game. I think there's a steel book as well. Thanks. The soundtrack, some pins and stuff like that, and like a little kind of art, like bloody gloves. So like it looks kind of cool. I can't remember how much this cost. I don't think it's super expensive.
Now, Mr. Keegan, I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
I get sucked into this shit every time. It's the same when I go on if I'm buying a book on whatnot, like that Trick or Treat book, which
You got FOMO, man. You just can't let it go.
No. It's not the FOMO. It's I go on and I get attracted by the shiny stuff and the add-ons and the pin badges and the little envelopes.
That sits in the box.
Yeah,
Never touch it.
Yeah, is all of this stuff of any use or value at all, or is it just cack?
I would say, like, in terms of value, you're best to literally just never open that box. And then if you want to play the game, you just take the game, you get the game digital as well, you know? Because, like, I have some collector's editions from games, but it's always when there's a statue or something like that. I don't think anything here is super displayable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, but more so it's kind of a niche because it's like a network game. So to have a physical copy of it, your physical copy lovers are going to be happy.
Don't say his name. If you say his name 3 times, he appears. Just joking. We love you. So did you say this is a sideways hack and slash?
Yeah, but and I know you even said the last time we were on a thing that you say that all the time that we're going to play things, but I think this would be a really good and easy thing to play together on the show, on the channel. Jesus. So we'll do that.
We're not a gaming channel, Mr. Keegan.
This is a horror game, man. Do you know?
I'm 47-year-old. I have no interest in playing on your games.
This is like you were born in you were 30 when the side scrolling thing was coming out. So like this will take you back to your 30s, man. You know, you go left or right, and
The Switch 2 news has gone down well with gamers today. Don't know what that is, Fuzzy.
If we go to the next slide, we can talk a little about the Switch 2. There is more gaming. So the Switch 2 was announced here, or officially unveiled in a Nintendo Direct a few days ago. Some of this news has not gone down well, particularly regarding the pricing. So the console itself is like 50 quid more. People were expecting 400, it's 450. But the physical games are going to cost $90, which is quite like most games nowadays are set, I think, in the $70 range. So 90 is like pretty pricey. I think if you buy digital, it's 80. So I know,
absolute mind fart out the left field kind of thing. Yep. Where are most of these games made?
Nintendo's a Japanese company. I'd imagine they're manufactured in China.
So to get it in America, are they going to be hit with the tariffs and all that
that's
kind of stuff?
That's exactly what Fuzzy is referring to there.
Right,
tariffs today.
Yeah,
Nintendo has basically paused pre-orders for the American regions because they don't know what the price is going to be, because they might have to add on that 35 or 50% tariff on top of it. So you might be paying 700 quid if you want to Switch 2 in America, which is crazy. Do you remember when he said he was going to lower the price of eggs? And now he's just raised the price of everything. Like, it's kind of crazy. But the reason we're talking about this today is that this game was unveiled. $657. That's mad. It's crazy.
It's insanity, isn't it? It's just
people will still pay it. I think a lot of people will.
Not people like yourself who are like gamers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your general public, your mum and dad who are looking for a Christmas present for the kids,
they're not going to shell that out.
Going to be shelling that out.
Yeah,
and Nintendo will probably, in more likelihood, just think, fuck it, we'll pull it back. We'll not.
I also think once that price goes up, that's just never coming down again. Yeah. Like that's the level that these consoles are at. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even if tariffs are removed or whatever.
It's the same with, again, sideways topic, but it's the same with all the action figures, the Hot Toys. We're kind of spared it a little bit if we buy direct from Hong Kong or wherever, but the toy collectors over in the States are going to get hit with that percentage again. So taking prices up to like 500, it's crazy.
Fuzzy's got more detailed news than I do here.
Fuzzy's on the ball, man. Fuzzy's on the ball.
Nintendo just moved production to Vietnam, and Trump slaps a 46% tariff on Vietnam. You couldn't make it up. I mean, like it's. I know we shouldn't be getting political and whatever, but like just the fact that he did everyone except for Russia and North Korea is just. I mean, like, come on.
I mean that's the best bit of the entire story. Is the I can't even remember what country it is. Fuzzy will tell me.
Oh, that has nobody. It's on inhabited island.
The penguins. He's tariffing the penguins. You know. Anyway, moving on.
So the Dusk Bloods. So this is a very big get for Nintendo. So this is from Software, which is the team that did like the Dark Souls games, Elden Ring, Bloodborne. This is very Bloodborne-esque. This one, McDonald's Island. So it's people were really excited. Miyazaki, who's kind of the creative head of From Software, is like a genius, like one of the best game designers in the world, is leading this. But it's sort of some news about it has people a bit shaken. So like it's apparently like a multiplayer focused. It's like an 8-player PvPvE, which means player versus everybody. So they'll be like you'll be going around the map. There'd be monsters to fight, and then other players can come in and you have to fight each other while you're fighting the monster and stuff. So like it's an interesting direction because it's against the kind of Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls has co-op and stuff, but like and some competitive stuff. But like to have that integrated into the core of the game is interesting. But I thought aesthetically looks very like Bloodborne, which is funny because Bloodborne like is just stuck. Like Sony just seems to not want to touch it, even though it's one of the most popular like IPs. But it looks very cool. Huge get for Nintendo to have an exclusive from Software. So like that surprised everybody. But I think it looks cool.
That creature at the bottom's got a canny set of Bapalapas.
The froggy, the toothy frog.
Yeah,
it does. The moon with the face looks spooky. That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. Little bit of comic news. These are books that are coming out next week. That I think people might want to check out. Again, all horror related. This is Vatican City issue #1 from Dark Horse by Mark Millar, who does some incredible books. Efren and me talked about this one a little while ago. It just sounds incredible. So the world's been overrun by the vampire apocalypse. Every man, woman and child dead except for 2,000 tourists safe behind the walls of the holy relics of Vatican City. But as the vampires gather in their millions outside, how long can they hold out? What a great concept. Do you know what I mean? I never would have thought of placing something like that in the Vatican, you know?
Yeah, it looks really, sounds really cool. I like the vibes.
So yeah, I think this one will be interesting. Mark Millar does some amazing work. So yeah, I'll definitely be picking this one up next week. Another one that I think sounds really interesting, kind of horror, but it's called Golden Rage, Mother Knows Best. And this is basically in a world where infertile women are deemed useless to society. They're abandoned on an island. Golden Rage documents their golden years of making friends, baking desserts, and fighting to the death. So it's like you chuck to this island, you've got to fight for survival. So again, I just think that sounds pretty interesting. Terry's saying the idiot is all about buying American goods. Everything with his name on it and his shop under Trump Towers is made in China.
Yeah, everything except for the MAGA hats. I think he knew he wouldn't get away with the MAGA hats, but the mugs and the figurines and stuff. Yeah.
So that's a couple of comics for you to check out next week if you're into that kind of stuff. Right, trailer time, Mr. Keegan.
Onto the trailers. So as you mentioned, Christopher Landon's new film. I didn't know anything about this, and I saw it. The trailer came in front of. I saw Mickey 17 last week. The trailer was in front of that. I thought this looked great. Yeah, so it's sort of like the basic concept is that this woman is on a date, and like a masked man comes into her house and kidnaps her daughter, and she's basically told she has to murder her date because he's some kind of high profile person. So it's like a kind of horror thriller thing. It looks like awesome. I'm really digging the look of this.
So I think the trailer the trailer for this looks great. The trailer's been out for a little while, but there's a second trailer just come out as well. It looks really interesting, but I think the thing that's got me most intrigued is the way you've just described it, James. It sounds like a pretty straightforward thing. Do you know what I mean? She's getting the messages. She's got to kill a date, or else it's her son, I believe, is going to get murdered or whatever. But all of the press kind of reports on it and things like that are saying it twists and turns all the way through the film. So every time you think you know what's happening or what's going on, something happens. A bit like a souped-up version of a Shamalama Ding Dong film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got those kind of twists. I love something like that. I love a film that keeps us... I hate going into movies these days where I think I know exactly what's going to happen and it happens as you expect it, you know? So I think this could be really cool, really interesting. And this is a one that I think my wife will love. So, yeah, keen to see this one. It looks very cool. Yeah.
New trailer for Bloodlines. We got to look at what the kind of the instigating accident, I suppose, is, and one of the kind of setups for one of the kills. So like it's like a kind of one of those sky high restaurant kind of things, like the revolving restaurants. Yeah. Which is not why I'd always just pictured it's going to be a boat or a ship or something like that. So I thought that's a cool idea. That's an interesting modern sort of thing that they've kind of gone for.
Well, it's not modern. It's set in the 60s, isn't it? And it's a famous... I can't remember what it's called.
I feel like they've gone more popular now, though. Do you know? I wouldn't have never thought of something like that.
No. What I mean is the whole Bloodlines thing of the trailer is that scene is set in the 60s.
It's their grandparents or whatever.
And I can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure that's a famous American kind of building. Do you know what I mean?
Seattle, is it? In Seattle?
Something like that, yeah. I thought the trailer was tremendous. It hit all the right notes. I love, a bit like what we're just saying, really, with not knowing what's going to happen. I love the way Final Destination sets you up for thinking you know what's going to be the instigating element, like the glass in the shard of glass in the glass.
As a bartender, there's no hope that you would let if you smashed a glass next to it. Like you actually, a lot of people, when people start in a bar, they have a habit of like they have a pint glass and they'll scoop ice with it, and you're like, no, absolutely cannot do that. If a glass breaks anywhere near a thing of ice, that all that ice gets thrown out. So I was just watching it and going, ugh. But yeah, the way that you think that someone's going to drink it, but it's actually falls out of the thing in some state. It's sort of like the nail on the like gymnastics bench or whatever. Yeah, and you think, oh, she's gonna step on it, but it's actually a fake out, and someone later does and pushes the thing. You know,
that's what I'm thinking of. Fuzzy the Space Needle, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So I thought this looks tremendous. Cannot wait to see it.
This is also, I believe, the most watched horror trailer.
Yeah.
Second most watched horror trailer in the first 24 hours or something like that. It's racked up with like insane amount of views, which shows, I think, like how far Final Destination has penetrated like the mainstream. Like people always say, whenever you see a log thing on a motorway, you think about Final Destination, and like people were really excited about this franchise. So it's cool to see. I think this will do really well. It's great to see Tony Todd. He does. I think you can also see on him that he looks, he looks ill. Because I think he like even like it was only a year and a half ago he did Spider-Man. He was doing press with that. And he looked normal, so he must have just kind of got sick quick. But yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Terry's hoping to get a 3-hour respite to coincide with this release. First time for the picks for years. Good stuff, Terry. Yeah, good one to see, Terry. Good one to see.
There's not much really to say on this. It's a quick little few flashes of some of the stuff in it. The kind of big takeaway from it is that it's not in the restaurant anymore. It's going to be out and about. Even though the first one did have like one of the robots taking an Uber or something, didn't it?
Shit. I don't know, mate. I've blanked that crap fest of a movie out.
Okay.
I've watched this trailer and it left us absolutely cold and dead inside. I've got no interest in this crap at all. None at all. Not even Matthew Lillard can save this shite for us. You're going to make us watch it. I know you are.
You have to watch it. There's not a.
My wife's going to kick off because I make her go to the cinema with us. This is one of the ones where she's
just
going
go on your own.
At the end.
You can just go on yourself.
I'm not sitting in the cinema like a pervy old man watching a friggin' teddy bear movie. Do you know what I mean? No.
Fair point. Anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. I hope it's good. I hope they take some lessons from the first one and say, let's make a better, more scary movie this time. Yeah. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Sorry, I'm just texting my wife. Okie dokie, cack, not watching it.
Okay.
Clown in a cornfield. Never heard of this. Never seen anything about this. I absolutely love this trailer. This really did it for us. I thought
this is getting a lot of. I didn't know really much about this. I heard about it like a week or two ago, and it's just been getting so much buzz. Like apparently it's incredible. Like whatever festivals it's playing at or whatever. It's from the director of Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is more like a comedic kind of take on the horror genre. But this is a bit like has some funny moments, but it's a bit more of a straight slasher movie with the clown. Like such a simple idea, but it just looks very well shot and well written, and there's some scary moments in it. Like I think
it was the funny little laugh that the clown was doing that got it for me. It creeped us out. I thought, I love this. Yeah. This is great. So I'd recommend if you haven't seen that trailer, ladies and gents, go check that trailer out.
Shudder also has a great, like this is from Shudder, and they have a great track record, with the End of Violent Nature, with the Late Night with the Devil. I knew that was going to get you.
I love how you just slipped that in and hope that I wouldn't kind of pick on it.
So so I'm sure it'll be great. It'll be great, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Utter shite, this trailer. Utter shite. I cannot hate this more. Just saying. You loved it, James?
I loved it. It's Terminator 2, man. It's Megan's the good guy now. I had such a smile on my face watching it. It is so far removed from what I was expecting from it. Like I thought this was just going to be like a straight horror sequel where it's just Megan's back and she's killing people again. And so anyone who hasn't watched it, the concept is that and there's another robot going on a killing spree, and they revive Megan to go fight it, and it's awesome. I just think it looks great. Like the new robot thing looks more human, looks great. I thought it was really funny. Production value seems to have gone up a bit more. Just awesome. Like I'm really excited for this.
I think at some point you've hit your head or something, because this was awful. Everything about this for me was just cringe.
Can you be what specifically?
Well, do you know how it started?
Oh, baby,
between that bit and the bit where it ended was just shite. That's a specific, yeah.
It was that bit in the middle, you know, after the start, before the end. All that
Yeah,
crap.
it just does nothing for us. And the comedy felt forced in, and
I like the idea of turning M3GAN into like a Harley Quinn. Oh, this is an action comedy movie.
Yeah,
which is just not what I was expecting at all. But I like the idea of turning M3GAN into like not a hero, like an anti-hero character. I think that's really an interesting idea and an interesting thing to do. I think that like also like, you know, she has that weird plasticky face in the first one. It looks a bit more animated this time. I thought it was funny that she's in like a Tamagotchi for part of the movie. I thought that was really funny. Yeah. I don't know what to say, man. Because I don't know. I think you have the idea that I like adore the first movie, and I don't. I think it's just it's decent. It's good. It's not amazing.
I've never said that.
Well, I don't know. I feel that's the vibe I feel like I've gotten.
No, I just think you
I know you hate it, but I thought it was decent.
You're generally extremely gushing about films that I just can't get my head around. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we've got different tastes.
Yeah,
you know, and that's fine.
I have tastes and you don't.
See, I knew you were going to throw that in. I nearly threw it in. I thought, no, be the bigger person, Peter. I thought I can rely on you not to be. It's actually the second worst trailer I've seen behind Naked Gun. Yeah, God, fuzzy.
Naked Gun looked bad. Naked Gun looked
the only saving grace of Naked Gun. The entire start of it, the bank bit, was horrific. Yeah. The only saving grace of the Naked Gun trailer was the gag about OJ at the end.
100%. I think that's probably going to be a running gag in the thing as well. You know,
Terry thinks this will be funny. That's because James praises everything like it's a masterpiece.
That's not true. I appreciate the art form of cinema. I appreciate the effort that goes into these movies. I'm easily pleased. You know, I think if you have a start, a middle, and end credits, and I didn't check my phone 5 times, then you've succeeded more or less. You know, I just like things, man. I'm a positive person. What can I say?
I love the fact we're talking about the M3GAN 2 trailer with the Tamagotchi thing and the dancing and the stuff, and you've got the ball-faced nerve to say, I appreciate the art of cinema.
Yeah,
fuck off.
I do. I don't love everything. I didn't like Leprechaun 2. My thoughts on the Howling are going to come out. You know.
Anyway, moving on. People can go and watch M3GAN if they want. Okay, we're getting to the end of the show now. And you mentioned Howling 2 there, Mr. Keegan. The reason I put this on is because when we were talking about M3GAN, see, can't get off my mind. When we're talking about the Howling, yes. And you'll see the video about that in a little bit, you mentioned the fact you were surprised at how many Howling movies there have been.
Yes.
I can't remember how many. Was it 7 or 8 or something?
It was 8, I believe.
Eight films.
Including the first one, yeah.
And it got us to thinking, I wonder how many franchises are out there that have got like a long length of movies that perhaps we haven't really been involved with or seen or watching stuff like that. So I did one of my little Google things and came up with I think it's Movie Web, I can't remember, we'll show it in a second. And they've done the 18 most popular franchise movies in terms of the volume of characters you've seen. So not just say a franchise of a film, but a franchise of a character at times as well. So we haven't got time to go through them all in detail, but we'll rattle through them. I'm going to share the screen, and I'll have to go onto the other page so I'll not be able to see you, so you can stick your tongue out and things like that. But let's just get rid of that, and then add that. So, talking them through, starting with Final Destination. This was done, by the way, in 2023, so it is a couple of years out of date. So some of these franchises may have got additional ones on, like one of those, a new one. But 5 Final Destination films. I think I've seen all of them. Have you seen all 5?
Yep. I was a huge fan of that. I have the box set on Blu-ray, and then I saw, the 3D was a big thing when the last 2 were coming out. So I remember 4 was crap and 5 was awesome. So yeah, like I always, I was a big fan of Final Destination. I think that was one of the earlier, like, they were coming out as I was turning like 16, 17, 18 to go see horror movies in the cinema. So those are the ones I was always looking forward to.
I mean, we've talked about it before. I love Final Destination. I've definitely seen all 5 of those. Phantasm.
Never seen any of them.
So I don't think I've ever seen. This is the one with the like the flying ball things with razor blades or something in it.
I'm not even sure. I just know the villain character or the main character. It's like the kind of
Like an older guy. We've got Von Hoot in the
actor.
chat, and I know he loves a shite old horror film. Von Hoot, remind us, Phantasm. That is the one with like the silver balls that have got knives in them and stuff and fly around and stuff or something in it. I'm sure that's what that one is. But yeah, there's 5 of these. 5 of them. I don't think I've seen any.
I would have guessed like 3. I don't think there was 5 of them. Yeah. Up to 2016.
2016, yeah.
Yeah.
Ravager.
Ravager.
Phantasm Ravager. That sounds like a porno, doesn't it? Yeah, not for me. Evil Dead, 5 films.
Too little. There should be more. There should be way more.
And I'm surprised there's not been more from this universe. Do you know what I mean? I'm surprised they've not kind of spilled out a little bit with this.
It's like the cranking up now. You know, we're getting one every 2 or 3 years. There's going to be the animated series as well. 2 movies are currently in the works. So, like, I think we're getting more. I wish there was more video. They went back to doing like the story focus games as well.
Yes,
Fistful of Boomstick and stuff are really good. So,
The Purge. Now 5 Purge films. I've seen all 5 of the Purge movies. The range massively in quality. I think it's fair to say. Some of them are really, really good. That first one is superb, absolutely superb. And there are a couple of good ones. The last one I saw, which I think is the Forever Purge, kind of wasn't as good. Didn't float the boat for me. Have you seen all the Purges?
I've seen them all in the cinema. Anarchy is probably my favorite. I love Frank Grillo. And him kind of taking the kind of Punisher style kind of lead role, and that was really cool. So I enjoyed that. Forever Purge, is that the one that's like kind of it follows kind of Mexican?
Yeah, it's on a horse ranch.
Horse ranch, yeah. It's like they're kind of racist against the rancher or whatever. Yeah.
I remember not particularly enjoying that one. Von Hoot, the Purge's cack. How dare you, sir?
I love the concept. I often think the concept is better than the movies. Yeah. But I really enjoy them.
I love when we used to watch them downstairs. Whenever the klaxon goes off, the kind of that superb purge noise. Yeah. The dogs go wild in the house. It doesn't with the ears. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Purge franchise. I would like to see more from that universe. Yeah. Scream. Like I say, up till 2023, 6 films. We don't need to talk about Scream, do we?
No,
we know what you've seen.
TV's 3 seasons of a TV show as well. And then the 7th film, obviously, in production at the moment.
I've seen the first season of the TV series, but I don't think I've seen the other 2.
I watched season 1, and I thought it was meh.
Yeah.
And then I started season 2 and I just didn't continue. And then season 3, first 2 seasons, I actually do love it's a different mask in the first 2 seasons, but it's its own thing. Yeah. And I think it is equal, like not equal, obviously not equally. It's so iconic, but I think it's a very effective killer mask. But, and then the third one, it's a kind of a reboot, and they license the mask for that. Okay. But I've not seen that.
But reminders. I'm sure from memory, it's got no link to Sydney and things like that.
I don't even think it's in the same universe. I think it's literally just a completely separate thing. So, yeah.
Interesting. Wolfman. 6 different Wolfman films.
Yeah, that makes sense. I buy that. Yeah.
Look at that special effects, man. Look, I mean, there's no denying for the age. That's
1941.
Cracking.
Yeah, crazy.
That is cracking.
I like the Benicio del Toro one too. I think it's good.
Me too. Yeah. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Never seen it.
Have you ever seen any Abbott and Costello films?
No, nothing.
Oh, superb. How can I? It's a bit like Laurel and Hardy. You must have. You know who Laurel and Hardy are?
Yeah. I know. I'm familiar with who Abbott and Costello are. Yeah. I've never watched a movie of theirs or anything.
I mean, they were my kind of entry into horror when I was just a kid, staying over at my grandparents' house. You'd watch Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy or Abbott and Costello. It's just funny stuff. Really, really cool. But yeah, number Wolfman, The Dead Saga, 6 films. Now, I don't think I've seen some of the originals. I probably have, but I've certainly seen some of the updated ones. You think you've seen most of them?
See, so it's Romero's Dead, because I was about to say there's surely more of the Dead. Like there's fucking hundreds of them. So I didn't realize even that there was like an official. These are the 6 of them or whatever. I've seen the original. I've seen Dawn of the Dead. I have seen the one where it's like a smart zombie. It becomes a smart zombie. Not
Right.
Return of the Living Dead, but it's one of the kind of late 80s, early
Yeah.
90s ones. I think that's it. I've not really seen any of the rest of them.
Yeah, I can't remember them. I certainly can't remember seeing the 68 Night of the Living Dead. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will have. But I just cannot remember it. Von Hood's saying there's more than 6, surely. I think there's more than 6 zombie-based films.
Oh,
but
there
these
is,
are,
yeah.
these are the ones that the class.
The Romero directed films,
Dead,
yeah.
Dead Saga, yeah. Oh, sorry, there they are. Day of the Dead,
Diary of the
Sons of
Dead.
Step Down, Night and Dawn, Diary of the Dead. Never even heard of that one, I don't think. Found footage, Diary of the Dead.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Von Hoot might correct me on this, there's a bit in that I possibly triggered my belly button phobia, where someone's wearing a belly ring and it gets like bitten and ripped off by a zombie, and that's very triggering for me. So I can't watch that one.
Never even heard of Survival of the Dead.
No, I don't know that one at all. I've never heard of it. Yeah.
And then we'll come to number 11, Tremors.
Seven Tremors movies.
Yeah.
Mad.
Now, I know I've 100% seen 1 and 2. I love the first one. Kevin Bacon. Absolutely love the first one. I don't think I've seen any after that. And if I have, they certainly don't ring any bells. But, we've got Back to Perfection, 5 years, Aftershock, The Legend Begins, Back to Perfection, Bloodlines, Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell.
Crazy.
And in 2020, Tremor, what's that, how do you pronounce that? Shrieker Island?
Shrieker Island.
Shrieker Island. I've, again, never heard. A lot of these must be like direct to
DVD crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Or sci-fi movie, like sci-fi
Yes.
TV show, series, movies, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremors 4, The Legend Begins.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
So if they're just doing the Romero directed Dead movies, it makes sense. You really should see the original. Von Hoot, it's one of those ones I will have watched on Channel 4 when I was a kid, playing on Friday night. But I don't think I've seen it in years. I'll have to try and dig it out and watch the original. We should do that, James, for, again, another one to add to the list.
Yeah.
Because they're classics that we really should go back and look at. Fuzzy, I once had a belly button ring accident with a lady. Hair, ring, blood was messy. Child's Play. I know you're a big fan of that franchise.
Yep.
8 films.
Makes sense.
Point. Yeah.
Yep, I have seen all of them. I've watched a 6-hour documentary on the movies, so I have seen all of them. And a TV show.
I don't think I've seen them all. I think I remember watching Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky. I remember, what is there a one where she's in a wheelchair in like an old house or something?
That's Curse. That's I would say, of the newer one, that's one of my favorites. That's the one I got the signed poster of.
Okay.
Because Fiona Dorff was there and Brad Dorff, so I got them to sign that. Cult is pretty good as well. The Cult involves multiple Chuckies, and that leads into the show then.
I've never seen the TV show. I know you're a fan
Show's
of the TV show
great.
as well.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, big. I mean, we've covered quite a few there. 8 films. Which ones are you expecting to see coming towards the end? Yeah,
Friday 13th, I'm in Elm Street, Halloween. Yeah. Maybe The Howling is in there because there's so many of them. Outside of that, I don't even know. Conjuring 9 films. Yeah.
9 different films from the Conjuring universe. I mean, we talked about that earlier, but we've got things like Annabelle, Creation, The Curse of. I don't think.
La Lorena.
Yeah.
I walked in. It's funny. Me and Jeff and Ben, my mate Ben, we're all going to go see the cinema, and they went to see that, and I went to see Pokemon, the Pikachu movie, the Detective Pikachu, and it was finished earlier, and I went in and watched the last 15 minutes of La Lorena, and I thought it was dog shit. So I've not watched that. I've not watched the whole thing, but we'll.
It's incredible. I mean, the money. This is what the Marvel Universe has done in some regards. It's spun franchises, isn't it? It's kind of.
I shared horror universe is an awesome idea. Yeah. So it's nice to see that one managed to do it, even though there's some bumps. There's some amazing movies in there. Nightmare on Elm Street, 9 films, makes sense. Yeah.
And again, TV series as well. We've talked about that previously.
Like throughout the 80s, it was one every year, from 84 to 90. And then 92.
Definitely haven't seen all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, I don't think.
I've seen them all.
Yeah. But the problem is when you're talking about, 9, 10 films, they do start to blend into one. Do you know what I mean? There's a good chance I have seen them. I just kind of
Yeah, I think particularly like between Dream Warriors, the Dream Child, and then like Freddy's Dead. They start to get a bit more. I even myself kind of mix up sometimes which kill was in which movie and stuff.
Yeah. Then we've got Mummy films, 10 different films starting in 32 all the way up to 2017. We know we've got more since then. But we've obviously got the Brendan Fraser ones. But, classic Universal monsters is where it all started back in 42 with the Mummy's Tomb, then the Mummy's Ghost, the Mummy's Curse, all that kind of stuff.
I don't consider like the Brendan Fraser movies as
they're adventure films. They're not horror films.
It's a separate. Completely. I know it is the Universal, the Mummy, but it's just so removed from it. There's almost no horror element. Like Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is like an epic action thing. It's not even close to horror. Like the first one I think has some elements, but it's a silly action. Nathan Drake, Indiana Jones, action movie like.
Yeah,
adventure movie.
Yeah, I'd love to see more Mummy films. We're getting one, so looking forward to
one
that.
Filming now. I think that'll be a horror, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a proper horror, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Saw from 2004 to 2023. 10 Saw films.
Saw X 10. Yeah.
10 Saw films.
Again, yearly. They were yearly throughout the kind of late 2000s.
But that's the thing, I guess, that I think this with with what we're just talking about, Final Destination. The creativity needed in like Final Destination to create so many films with unique and interesting deaths.
Yeah.
The same for Saw. Do you know what I mean? You go into that expecting to see an interesting kill setup, something
Trap,
like
whatever,
that. You know? Yeah. If you include the Fraser Mummy movies, you might as well include the Hammer movies, at least they're actual horror. Love a good Hammer horror movie.
Well, I'm curious is like one of these Dracula and there's 20 something of them or whatever. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely is. Hellraiser, now 11 Hellraiser
That's
films.
Crazy. That is crazy. 11.
I know for sure I've not seen.
I've never seen. I think I've seen the first one. I've never seen any of them.
See, I've got a feeling I watched part of the first one when I was far too young, because these films came out when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's a scene where it's the guy with all of his skin off floating around on a bed covered in blood or something, and I just thought, this is not for me. This is, we've talked a lot about different people's tastes of horror. This for me is a grotesque body horror that and like hooks through skin and things like that. Never really.
It's gross. It's just not for me at all. Yeah, I'm really not a fan.
But I can't believe there's bloody 11 of them.
I will say, even though I'm not seeing them, I can assure you that 2 and 3 are excellently written, at least.
Yeah, because it's our friend.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the last time we did a show, Terry sent me a link to my brain's gone blank. Who played Superman? Henry Cavill. Yep. I don't know if you sent yours as well, but Henry Cavill was one of the deaths in one of the Hellraiser movies. Can't remember which movie it was. Terry might remember.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
you didn't trigger it, but now that you say it, I'm like,
he sent us the video clip, and I watched it on YouTube.
In like 2004, 2006 or something.
Looks nothing like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Looks nothing like him, But it's an interesting death. Spike through his back, as I remember, like a hook he gets pulled along. Right. So, yeah. Terry's saying, I think I've seen the first 3 Hellraisers. No idea how many.
Scroll back
to
the last one, where the last one was. How far up does this go? Because there was one like
2022.
Well,
there was a reboot, wasn't there? I never watched it.
That was 2022, I think. Yeah.
But was that a film or was it a TV series?
Film. It was a female. One. Yeah. Which is apparently that one was really good as well. Yeah. But like, I don't like the kind of tortury, BDSM-y kind of nipples chopped off kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like I just never liked that really.
It's a bit too gory for me.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. 12 Friday the 13th films.
Yeah.
I've definitely
just one, and that's unfortunate because they're just one off of a 13. We're doing 13 films. Yeah.
First forward, most successful. We're including Freddy versus Jason, and that's Jason X.
I feel like those ones, they're much easier to distinguish than like a Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, as well. Like they have, because there's like gimmicks, and Jason's look is vastly different throughout them all as well.
Yeah. Terry's saying, in this list, the only one I've seen all of them of is Chucky. And then we've got Halloween. I know a favourite of yours and mine. Yep. 13 films.
13 films. I am there's one of them I'm not seeing. 6. I haven't seen 6 yet. I went back and because I think they were all on Netflix a couple of years ago. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch 4 and 5 because I'd never seen them. And then I just didn't get to watch 6, and then I think it is on Paramount now, so I might watch it. But also, this is like a whole thing where there's 2 different versions, like drastically different. Like Harvey Weinstein got in and meddled, so there's like a theatrical release and a director's release, and there's like vastly different endings and stuff.
The last time we talked about this franchise, the last time we talked about this franchise, I went back and watched the Rob Zombie version of it.
Yeah.
And I hated the start of it, but I didn't hate the overall film. But I haven't yet had a chance to go back because there's a sequel, isn't there?
There is, and it's wild.
Yeah, I've not seen that one yet.
I'm not sure. Because, like, are you a fan of the original stuff that movie has? Yeah. Or do you just like when it's just like, oh, we're just doing the original movie again?
What do you mean?
Are you a fan of it recreating what the first movie did? Or are you a fan of, like, all the new stuff it adds?
I like some of the new stuff. I didn't like some of the writing, the typical Rob Zombie violence and language and stuff.
I don't think you'll like the second one because it's a Rob Zombie film,
Halloween 6 has 2 cuts and they're very, very different.
Wildly different, yeah.
You're both, Fuzzy, you mentioned this the other day. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. This is the Kevin Bacon one.
Episode, I think.
Yeah, I haven't caught any of that yet, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that. I think that'll be a good one. Okay, top 2, Puppet Master.
That's crazy.
15 films from the Puppet Master.
That's crazy.
I think I've seen the first one, but that's it. Now, I know our pal Luke from Hydra Collectibles is a massive Puppet Master fan, and he once did a show or did something with where he tried to explain the continuity. He had his whiteboard out and all kinds of shit, trying to work out the continuity and how the universe works, and it blew my brain. It was far too complicated. I mean, look at all this.
How many of these have you seen?
1, I think, and I don't even remember it.
Okay.
I will have seen the first one. But...
I've seen 1, and I know the name will stick out to me. The Littlest Reich. That's the one I've seen. I watched it in Jeff's house, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Is it just because they're so cheap? Like, is using the puppets and all? It's just really cheap to make. So why not just make 15?
But look at that. The latest one's 2022. Dr. Death. I didn't even know they were still making this shit.
Still going strong, man.
It might be good, but it's just incredible. Yeah. Second, Rob Halloween is utter shite. It's terribly written and complete mess. James will, if it's crap, James will make us watch it.
I'm not even that keen to watch that one.
So Puppet Master. So coming in number 1,
Dracula.
Look at that image. 23 mainline Dracula films, including the 4 Hotel Transylvania movies. That's a stretch, man. That's a stretch.
And Renfield.
Yeah.
That's cheating. Anything with Dracula in it is Blade Trinity counts. You know,
Bram Stoker's Dracula. I went back and rewatched that one recently. Renfield, love a bit of Renfield. But you can't beat some of the original classics. Yeah. But 23 different Dracula movies that they're incorporating into this list. There we go. Von Hoot is saying, I've only seen 4 of the Puppet Masters. The first and second are worth a watch. I'm sure I watched the first one, Von Hoot, many, many years ago. Again, probably when it came out. But I've certainly not watched any of the more recent ones. Probably just not up my street, really. If you count anything with Dracula, it's a damn straight more than 23 films. Yeah. I think it's probably where.
What makes it a main is Hotel Transylvania Universal, so that counts as a main line.
I think it's probably the
then the Hammer stuff is also included. So that's sort of weird.
Anyway, there we go. That's our topic for tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. We've got a few things coming up. Mr. Keegan, what's the next I'll Be Right Back we're going to be talking about?
I'll be right back on The Howling. So
we're going to upset some people on this one, aren't we?
I think so, because we watched the video. It's, after hearing how amazing this was and how it's one of the best werewolf movies ever made and all this stuff, I'll say we had high expectations.
Well, listen, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Von Hoot in the chat. He's a horror aficionado. Von Hoot, Howling, good film or cack film? Let one know in the comments. But when's this coming out?
This will be out in the next week or so. Maybe next Friday. I was hoping to have it done soon. But I've been just a bit short on time lately, so it's like half edited. Like I'm onto the video part now, so I'm just gonna try and squeeze in the next few days anyway.
Okay, it's going to be an interesting one because, like James says, we went into this thinking it was going to be a classic. I'm not sure either of me really thought.
Also, I will say, one of the reasons it's taking so long is that we're in such a huff. That it's hard to kind of cut around some parts, like isolating like sentences and things. So like that's also one of the reasons. So so we have that. We'll busy month this month. There's a good few movies out with Drop and a few others. And then we have The Last of Us season 2 starting, so we'll be doing some stuff on that. And the Until Dawn movie, so we'll have a couple of tie-in things for that as well. So it's going to be a busy month.
I'm hopefully going either this weekend or the next few days to see Death of a Unicorn. So yeah,
right.
Yeah. We'll see what that's like. Von Hoot, the first I didn't like until it's awesome a couple of times. It's still not top tier, but it's better than I gave it credit for. Okay. Watch a review. I think we're probably in agreement, Mr. Doctor. Sorry, totally disregarding your method.
Unbelievable
degree. Yeah, Dr. Von Hoot. There are a couple of good bits, but then there are just some bits that are just.
Watch the video. Well, it's
stop motion werewolves. Where'd that come from? Anyway, yeah. Okie dokie. That's your whack. We won't be doing a live show unless James does it by himself. Week after, because I'm on holiday.
We'll keep we'll have the Until Dawn thing for that then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Special.
What's the Until Dawn thing?
We're doing the playthrough of Until Dawn.
Well, we might not get that done this. We'll talk about it later on, but I've got a busy week before I go on holiday. So
goddamn, Pete.
Not promising.
Priorities, man. All right.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, let's move on. Okie dokie. Listen, Thank you very much, everybody. We do appreciate you stopping by and spend some time with us. It's always fun chatting with everybody. So, anything you want to add, James, before we go?
Well, Peter, it's not Halloween. But I still think everyone's entitled to one good scare.